This episode of KSTV is brought to you by Gem Creative, custom designs, printing, web designs, SEO, and more.
Hello, how are you? I'm Kevin.
And I'm Ron.
And today we're going to be a little bit different. Today we're going to do a movie review.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and all we've seen is a movie clip, but I'll tell you.
We have. It's called Piece of Chocolate.
Yeah. And
it's brought to you by the Kindersley Screen Arts and TIFF, the Toronto International Film Festival. And I thought it was actually pretty good. What did you think, Ron?
Oh, I thought anything with chocolate.
Hey,
that works for me.
Absolutely.
It was great, yeah.
It was a great story, and wow, and based on a true story.
Yeah, my understanding is it's based on a story of an immigrant coming to Canada, I guess.
I believe.
And while he comes as a chocolatier.
Yes.
Who is well known in his country, but not here, and so looked on not favorably.
No, but you know what? He did change his little part of the world with his chocolate recipe, and it goes to prove that you can.
Yeah.
If your heart is big enough, you can do it.
Yeah.
And it was.
Bring peace to this world.
Absolutely.
I think it's a great idea.
And let's do it by having a piece of chocolate. Local news sponsored by Mid-Plains Diesel. And in local news, close before you doze. With Fire Safety Week just around the corner, the Kindersley Fire Department is reminding residents to close before you doze. Closing your bedroom doors has been proven to give you more time to escape in the event of a house fire. For example, 50% of residential structure fire deaths occur between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. 29% of those deaths did not have their doors closed. A closed bedroom door, even with a fire on the other side, can keep the temperature in the room below 37 degrees Celsius, as well as keeping carbon monoxide levels under 100 parts per million. Compared to having your door open, the temperatures can easily exceed 377 degrees Celsius with carbon monoxide levels over 10,000 parts per million. So remember to close before you doze. SGI brings in new penalties for stunting and street racing. Tough new penalties aimed at deterring drivers from stunting and street racing are now in effect. The cost of a ticket for stunting in a motor vehicle increases to $580, and that's up from $150 plus 4 demerit points. The ticket for street racing is now $580, which is up from $205, and escalates for repeat offenses within a one-year period. $1,400 for a second offense and $2,100 for a third. All offenses also include 4 demerit points. Even prior to the new penalties, a ticket for street racing resulted in an immediate 30-day vehicle impoundment, while repeat offenses for stunting resulted in a 3-day impoundment. Hey, Kevin and
Ron
are back. And Ron, I've got an interesting question for you today. Do you go on the internet?
I do.
Do you post on the internet?
I do.
What do you post on the internet?
It all depends on the day.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, here we go. Okay,
right.
so let me take you back just to
Please.
15 years or so ago.
Okay.
I was told, oh, you should blog. So I decided 15, 17 years ago to blog. If you're going to blog every day. And so for 10, 15, almost 15 years,
right.
12 years, whatever, I blogged every day until this last year.
Okay.
And then something hit me. This is COVID. Everybody's putting stuff on the internet.
Right.
I used to do it because not everybody puts stuff on the internet, and people would, who's listening to me now?
Well, I am.
And so, okay, that's good.
And he is.
Yeah, and I guess this is going to be posted on the internet, so
yes.
Maybe I hope someone will look at it. Please do more. Yeah. So,
but we don't get money for any more hits on it. We just want to know what you're doing on the internet.
Yeah, it's definitely a hit. There's no question.
I like to see a lot of history stuff actually.
Yeah.
I see a lot of stuff about Egypt and
So do you post? Do you comment on any of that stuff?
No, not really. Yeah. I'll read it. If I like the article or the pictures, I'll like it. But then I keep scrolling. I don't post that much personally. Mm-hmm. For work, I have to.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Well, for me, it's okay anyway.
Yeah, I mean, a number of, one thing that has changed is that if you're posting on the internet nowadays, it seems like you retweet, or you post the site or whatever, and all you put in is one sentence, which, really doesn't say much about who you are, what you're posting, I find that difficult to.
You can only watch so many funny cat videos. I mean,
Well,
you know,
yeah,
and they are hilarious. Some of them.
Well, yeah, I've seen those. And
Like kind of like David Letterman's stupid human tricks. You know, it's just you can only watch them so many times.
that's right. Yeah.
Or you know.
So what do you post on the internet?
I post stuff for work, professional stuff for work.
Yeah.
For the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
Upcoming events, and sometimes, yes, I will kind of try to increase the amount of visual exposure, I guess, for some of our chamber members.
Do you know? Like, I think part of the thing about posting on the internet nowadays is who's listening, and how, or reading or listening or whatever, and how do you know? Okay, so there's all these analytics, and it's interesting that you can analyze all sorts of stuff, but who should be listening? Maybe that's more the question. And what's your target? And are you working well with your target? And then we get into the whole marketing, and there's a whole industry that goes around that.
Yes.
But for me, I'm a guy sitting at home posting on Facebook. Why?
Boredom?
Okay, yeah.
Maybe you don't have a life.
That's true.
You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay.
You know, some people are not really social animals. They'd rather not be around people. They'd rather be around their dog. So they can sit and do that. Which I mean, if that's okay, if that's their
But I mean,
thing.
if I watch the progression of Facebook over the last while, Facebook originally, that was me and my friends, and we're chat with each other online, and then you could comment on it, and then all of a sudden it became all stuff's public, and so other people were reading it, might see it or might not, so then you restrict it, and then after a while, it became that people wouldn't post on Facebook because they'll post on Facebook Messenger because they know exactly who that's going to.
Right.
And there's not all the comments.
Right. And one thing I've noticed too, just Facebook in particular, a lot of people are selling stuff on Facebook, whether life insurance or a new pair of bedroom slippers, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always something for sale. And I mean, if that's okay, if that's...
Some of the ads are really stupid. Some of the ads should not... Yeah, I'm not going to try and explain what I think of the ads on Facebook. But having said that...
Safe to say some of them shouldn't be there.
Yeah, exactly.
And when they see something like that, you just keep scrolling.
Yeah.
Just don't bother.
But isn't it interesting that on some of these particular social media sites, all you have to do is pay a few more dollars and they'll take them right out.
And just think,
great?
We are going to be posted to Facebook.
Yes, we will.
So how does that make us feel? Are we hypocrites?
I don't know. What's the ad that is going to...
I don't know. Let's see what it says in here. Buy Kevin and Ron lunch or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's excellent. Excellent. Did you see that part? It's just up
over there.
Corner.
Okay.
Yeah, up in the corner there. Yeah, it's part of the tweet. The tweet thing.
Okay, yes. For the Twitter thing.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that thing. I bet, and the bird and all that sort of stuff.
Right, yeah.
I think if I look at that tweet says, "Be nice to Kevin and Ron."
Right.
Yeah. $1 million is not too much.
And if I somehow find money deposited into our accounts, I would not be too upset.
I might be upset because in the bank, okay, but that's a whole other question that we could deal with another day.
But let's see what you post on Facebook.
Exactly.
And let us know.
Or TikTok. I've been told just today, I should join TikTok because TikTok is about TikToking. It's not about facing people for years and years.
Right.
Just get it out there.
Well, speaking of TikToking, I think our time is up.
Yeah, I'm listening to that too.
TikTok.
TikTok.
Events sponsored by Royal Flush, the company for septic services.
And in local events, Banger Bingo is back. Looking for the perfect small business Christmas party? Well, why not Banger Bingo, taking place on New Year's Eve at the Kindersley Inn? Reserve your company's table today. Email clippersmarketing@gmail.com. And the Corrobert Courtroom Gallery Show. A reminder that the Corrobert Courtroom Gallery Show is now on, and the aim is to help the local communities deal with the stigma of mental illness. Every year, 1 in 5 Canadians will experience a mental health concern. Fighting Normal by Laurie McFadden and Amy Willens will run until October 21st at the Corrobert Courtroom Gallery. Hi, Kevin here from the Kindersley Social, and my special guest today from the Kindersley Screen Arts, This is Judy Lavoie. Hi, Judy.
Hello, Kevin.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Great, thanks for coming down today.
Thanks.
We wanted to talk about a movie coming to town on October the 22nd at the Sunset Theatre. It's Peace by Chocolate. How does that select it to come down here?
Well, we get to pick which ones we want. It was a TIFF movie. It's actually a Canadian-produced movie and directed.
Okay.
It's based on a true story about, and it's a happy story. It's
Right.
about a family immigrating to Canada from Syria and how they started a business. And it's more, it's a comedy, but it has some undertones of, you know.
It's a feel-good movie.
Yes.
If it's got chocolate, it's got to be good.
Yes, exactly. And I think what they do is they open a chocolate shop, I think. You can watch the preview or,
Yes.
yeah.
I have seen the preview.
Okay.
And I really did enjoy it, actually.
Yeah.
So that's great. October 22nd at the Sunset Theatre in Kindersley. Peace
Yes.
by Chocolate.
And it's $10 at the door.
Yep.
Cash only.
Cash only,
And
yeah.
it's open to you have to be 19 or over because we're serving beer and wine this year.
All right. So again, October 22nd, come on down.
You must be Tarek.
Oh,
Is it that cold?
that's Canada, hun.
Welcome to Antigonish, your new home.
How's she going by, eh?
Where's the town?
This is the town, bud.
I want you to move our sponsorship to Toronto.
It's this or it can't be Lebanon.
And we'll do whatever we can to help, but in 12 months' time, you're gonna be on your own.
عم تقول إنه الشتي هون طويل، بس الجو رح يحلى كتير لما تدفي الدنيا.
إن شاء الله.
Yes, that's a chocolate wheel. Sorry, sir. No.
إلا إنه أنا بقدر ساعدها بتحسين الشوكولاتة.
I'm sorry. He was the best chocolatier in Syria.
These chocolates are amazing.
Oh my God, they're so good.
Tell Papa I have an idea. You guys don't know what you have here.
They make the best chocolate.
Mark my words.
Your story is the new Canadian dream.
This will not just bring chocolate to the people of Antigonish. It will also inspire more refugees. We can empower other people's dreams and our own. For me, that dream is to be a doctor.
بتعرف قديش بدك وقت لحتى تتخرج وتصير دكتور بهالبلد؟ كل.
ما في.
Dino, eat.
There's two of us now. You said you study medicine?
Yes.
You know what I tell people about Canada? Paramedics drive the ambulances, doctors drive cabs.
My family has endured many hardships,
You're from Syria, sir. No, you will place your hands on the wheel.
but we are one of the lucky ones.
We all pitched in and got a community loan. It's like a belated Christmas gift.
Whoa! Look at this place. He was doing this from his kitchen before. It's unbelievable. This is like a dream.
Now that you're a local celebrity, how does all the attention feel?
We are honored. It left us speechless.
We're not friends.
Brothers.
Just months after arriving in Canada, the family realized their dream. It's called Peace by Chocolate. He arrived in Antigonish.
الشوكولاتة معنا.
Are there any Canadian citizens that can vouch for you?
Justin Trudeau.
All right, Justin Trudeau.
Hi, everybody. We are back. He's Ron.
Yeah, I'm still Ron, and I think he's still Kevin. But you know that hesitation there was kind of interesting.
Thank you.
Which makes me wonder. You know, maybe we should be doing more research just so we understand who we are and what goes on and all that sort of stuff. I just wanted to say I'm having great fun this year doing research. I teach at a college just south of town, and there I'm getting together a group who and have got together a group that are going to research. Now, take a guess at the topic. I thought so.
You stumped me already.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, you got
okay.
me.
So the topic is going to be on small churches because that's part of a lot of what I do
Right.
and my background. But the question is, what is church going to look like in the future? And they're going to do some research, start working through that.
Okay.
So if I were to ask you that question, what will church look like in the future? And we'll use this as part of our research. We can use cite this in the paper and do the whole thing. Okay,
right.
yes.
What will it look like in the future?
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to give you an answer. I'm not sure how you're going to like it.
I probably won't like it, but that's all right.
I don't think it's going to change that much from how it is now. You can visit, I'm going to say visit in person, or you can go online, because I know during COVID, a lot of churches were, I think most churches were not allowed to have a congregation.
Well, no, that was a whole. Yeah.
So I believe you're going to have a kind of a combination of both.
Okay, so if you have a combination of both, is it going to be the same sort of thing that we've always done?
I'm going to say yes, but again, things can happen that I have no control over.
Yeah. Well, one of the latest research points, and the group that I'm working with are going to have to deal with this, is there's a group in the States called Pew Research. Really a weird name for a research group. But Pew Research, and they have traced over the last 20, 30 years a very sharp decline in attendance in church. And yet at the same time, other research is showing, but people still think there's a God, we still think that there needs to be religion, and so the question is arising, what is church?
That is an excellent question.
Thank you.
But I think that means something different to everybody.
Okay.
For example, I mean,
I'm going to take this back to the group.
Please,
we'll have a good chat over that.
I notice you're not writing it down, but that's okay.
Well, that's because
we'll see the copy video later.
And we'll give the access. We'll have a citation in our paper to this particular.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Where were we anyway?
What is church and who's doing it and what?
Right.
What's going on and how's it going to happen?
I think everybody's interpretation of church is different, but I also think that people are just going to still do what they do. Some are going to want to go.
Yeah.
Some are going to want to go online.
Yeah.
I can't see a real much of a difference.
Okay.
Personally.
Yeah, and I think that's some people's reaction is, and some people's reaction is, well, it's been COVID, so I haven't been attended church. I haven't been participating in anything. There's no service element I've been part of. So what I've been doing for the last 2 years, what I'm going to do.
Right, and for some too, it's more maybe convenient to stay at home and watch online. Mm-hmm. You can watch it from the comfort of your kitchen table in your pajamas while you're having your Cheerios.
Yeah, yeah.
No way we've been brought up to be in church.
Well, yeah, and for those that's been part of their culture, it has often been a culture of you have to show up, you have to be part of.
Right.
And I think that may be changing just slightly, which is going to be part of the research. And the plan is with this group is we'll spend the next 4, 5, 6 months digging into this sort of thing, using internet searches, reading books, talking to people, and then we'll present it at a research conference in Calgary at the end of March. And I think that's going to be it.
I'm interested to know the results of that.
I'm very interested too, because as I say, this is research. I've done some chatting with people, but we're going to try and gather it together and put it in place. We might even put a book out or an article out at the end, just for people. So yeah,
you have to make sure it goes in the Kindersley Social.
That would be a great idea. Kindersley Social needs to have this article.
The information has to get out there, folks.
Yeah, it does. I just think people need to know. And what are we? How have we changed? Okay, there's way more that we can do in this. But that's what the research can be out, and these undergrad students are just chomping at the bit to get at that kind of research.
Cool. Yeah. Points to ponder.
Sports, sponsored by the Tint Doctor. We've got you covered.
And in the sports, upcoming KMS AGM. For those wishing to take part, the Kindersley Minor Sports Annual General Meeting will be held October 16th in the Curling Rink Lounge at 7 p.m. During the meetings and in the Junior Clippers update. October looks to be a busy month for the Kindersley Junior Clippers. There will be 8 games scheduled, with the first one of the month on October the 7th. Be sure to come out and cheer on the team.
Welcome. I'm Ron.
And I'm Kevin.
And we call this the Kevin and Ron and Kevin Show.
We do.
Yes.
Our names are interchangeable.
Exactly. I don't know who you are, you don't know who I am. It's all good.
Yes, it is.
But that's part of getting old.
I've been told that.
Yes, I've been told that, but I can't remember who told me.
I don't know either.
It's just the way it is. But at the same time,
yes,
a lot of people are retiring nowadays. Because they're getting old.
That's right. And approximately right now in Canada, or North America, 1 in 5 is over 55.
Is that right?
That's correct.
That's a stat. 1 in 5?
1 in 5.
Oh my goodness.
So it's got to be both of us because we're both over 55.
I guess that's it. But I mean, if you put that and then you put a younger generation in with it, who's left in the middle?
That is a good question.
Yeah.
And that's why we're having a lot of issues right now with people retiring. People changing a lot of jobs and a lot of work from home situations. So that causes a lot of brick and mortar stores to be short staffed.
Yeah, very much so. And so then you look on the other side, I have a relative of mine, a young fella, who's now gone into the gig economy thing, contracting from home.
Okay.
Enjoying it. He gets as many contracts as possible. But at the same time, the loyalty thing that used to be there is no longer there. And he's working in the computer industry, and he says, well, if I get a better pay, they expect me to take it. And I'm thinking, that's not where I grew up.
No.
And yeah, what's the new sense that the economy can expect out of employees?
It seems to be that some employees do just enough so they don't get fired.
I mean, there's always been that.
But even still, it's more noticeable now, maybe.
Oh, okay, maybe. Maybe it's more out in the open. But
I think because of COVID, people have gotten a little lazy.
Yeah.
Or a lot lazy, depending on which side of the coin you're on. And that's not good.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
Now, I mean, whether it's laziness or whether it's instability or not knowing what you should be doing or trying to figure it out or you're in transition or whatever, at the same time, there's no question that there's a whole different atmosphere. And trying to create community within a job or within a job site or brick and mortar place is really difficult.
It is, and you spoke about loyalty, and there's not that many people now who get one job for life.
No.
You don't hardly see that because, like you said, people are working different jobs.
Yeah.
And I only know of one person who's done that, and that's my father-in-law. He spent his whole life at one job.
Really?
At one company, I should say.
Yeah.
Doing different jobs at one company.
Yeah.
And wow, I took my hat off to him. That was a long time.
And I've seen others that have done that too. And I looked back to my grandparents and my parents, and they had that sort of idea that the loyalty served both sides.
Yes, it meant something.
We didn't have to train you 15 times over because we got 15 different people. At the same time, you also knew that you had a job for as long as you wanted, and you were treated well.
You were. And I remember I used to give my mother fits because I was always changing jobs when I was younger. And she'd say, Kevin, what's wrong with you? I'd say, well, and I'd tell her why I didn't like the job or whatever. Because she was from obviously that era or generation where you got a job, you stayed with it your whole life, you got your handshake, your gold watch, your pension, and Bob's your uncle, away you go. But I said, Mom, I can't stay at a job if I don't like it or if I can't stand the people I work with.
Yeah.
And
so if we go from an older generation which said you stay regardless, now we've come to our generation, which says, if I don't like it, well, but I do think I need to do all the work. What have we been telling our kids then? If each generation is saying less and less, I wonder if we, in a sense, are the ones to blame for a generation that may not be as excited or as loyal about their work.
It all depends on their opportunities. They had different opportunities than we did, although I'm sure neither one of us would have an issue going out and getting another job tomorrow.
I would, yeah.
Because we're more open to what we would do, whereas a lot of today's workers are kind of maybe fixated on something maybe that we're not suited for, obviously. But I mean, that's just the way it is.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't have the answer again. I'm not as brilliant as some other people.
I'd be glad to see what some people are thinking and what they're seeing within their own job situations, and maybe within other what is happening with
Absolutely.
with this whole next movement and next retirement that's coming along the way.
So please, write in, call in, email, whatever you have to do, Facebook, find us and say, hey, what's going on with you? And maybe we can retire.
Would that be something?
Eventually. Hi, Kevin here from the Kindersley Social, and again, my guest, Mrs. Judy Lavoie.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
We're getting to be old hat at this.
I know we are.
I wanted to ask you about the Kindersley Screen Arts. How long has that been around? I'm going to kind of go off topic for a
Okay,
second
it's
here.
been around since I think 2015, so that's.
Oh, okay, fairly new.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's run by a group. Kindersley Screen Arts is a nonprofit group.
Okay.
And we bring in movies once a month.
Nice.
And it's always the fourth Saturday of the month.
Oh, okay.
And not in the summer, though.
Good. Well, it's good to see everything's back kind of
Yes.
in a sort of regular way.
Yes.
That's great. For those from out of town or in town that don't get out much, a little bit, is there anything more you can tell us about the Kindersley Screen Arts?
Well, we are associated with TIFF Film Circuit.
Okay,
So
that's
all of
the-
our movies come from TIFF. They're
Which is
movies,
the Toronto
International Film Festival,
Okay.
which was just on last week.
Okay.
So what they do is they send us a list of movies that we can pick, and we have a group of about 6 or 7 people that we decide which movies to bring in.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So why do you think it's important to bring these particular movies in?
Well, I think because these are movies that aren't going to get a full like 2-week run at a theater.
Okay.
They're not blockbusters. They're usually movies that are fly under the radar. Usually Canadian movies, but not or international, like small different distributors.
Right.
So, but they're usually high quality movies that win the Academy Awards. So
Cool.
it's just Kindersley. We wanted to bring that here because we think film should be seen on a big screen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do they just have the one playing? Like just play once?
Yes, we only bring it in one day a month.
Oh,
one
okay,
day.
just
yeah.
one day. Okay,
Yeah.
fair
And
enough.
one showing. Yeah.
Okay. Now, you brought a lot of movies into town, obviously, in the past 7 years then. Do you have any favorites?
I think my favorite was Room. That's that
Oh.
Canadian one about. Brie Larson won the Academy Award for that. It was an
really?
excellent movie. Yeah.
Oh, I have not seen that one.
Oh, it was excellent. And then La La Land was another favorite. That was a good one.
Oh,
We've
interesting.
brought lots. Like I can't say there was one bad movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a testament to you guys as having some good taste then.
Yes.
So you have any favorite actors or actresses?
I think my favorite actress is Cate Blanchett. I think she can play anything from an old lady to a young girl and anywhere in between.
Wow.
Actors, I like lots of actors. I don't think I can pick a favorite actor.
There are a lot of good ones,
Yes.
a lot of great ones too.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So your all-time favorite movie?
My all-time favorite movie? Oh, I can't just pick one.
many.
There's too many. I like scary movies. I love Blair Witch, which
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
not many people liked. But I also love The Godfather. I thought that was it. I like Green Book, and I like. There's so many that I can't pick a favorite.
Well, we're going to see what's coming up next after the November movies, and we'll
Great.
see what you pick, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Thanks for being our guest
All
today.
right. Thank you.
Catch us on kindersley.social.ca. Hello, are your seatbelts on?
Yes.
Ours are.
Yeah, well, we have some belts on, and they're holding.
belts
Yeah,
are
okay.
holding our pants up. Ron and
Kevin,
we're here, and
we've got a tip for you today.
we literally do.
Yes.
When was the last time you ate at a restaurant?
Oh, mustn't be too long ago. In fact, I'm sure it isn't. Inside. would be
Okay,
another
yeah,
question, but yeah.
And were you happy with the service and the meal?
Yes.
Okay, that being said, did you tip your waitstaff?
I actually did.
Okay,
Yeah.
now, Was it cash on the table or was it on the machine?
No, I go directly to the machine at this point in time. Yeah.
Now, did your machine come up with it for the first one 15 or 18 or 20 or 25%?
I don't really care what that says. I always look for the other opportunity, and then I decide what I want to give.
Fair enough.
But they don't always show up now.
No, they don't.
It's sort of like you take this, this, or this, or you skip, and you get this sort of woo.
Right, and tipping. I mean, I know it's not a city in China. However, I'm sorry for that one.
That was pretty bad.
That was bad. Tipping, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with this. TIP, tip.
Yep.
Originally meant to ensure prompt service. So you tipped at the beginning of your meal when you went into a restaurant to your waiter.
It's like a bribe.
A bribe, in a sense, yes.
Excellent.
So you're ensuring yourself that you're going to be served and looked after well. I don't know where along it changed. So where you tipped after.
Okay.
But it seems nowadays that with everything that's happened with COVID, I know that a lot of restaurant workers not making a lot, and they rely on their tips, which I get. I also read a disturbing story the other day that some restaurants, I'm not going to say here or not because I don't know, the restaurant owners take about half of the tips and then distribute the other half where they want to.
Oh, I think that's a little...
I think that's wrong.
If the tips are meant for, and I as a person tipping expect it to go towards my server.
Yes.
And so you make your money off your food and the price that you get put on your food, and then the server. But then that brings up a whole other question, Kevin, which is the question of are we just not paying people well enough that the expectation of tips becomes stronger and stronger until you say they can't survive unless...
You've hit the nail right on the head, sir. You have. I think if restaurants, and again, this is just my opinion, folks, if you paid your restaurant workers a better wage, I think you would have happier workers because they're struggling, and I get that. But I don't think it's fair when you're going to give a tip, and if you want to, that's fine. But it starts at 18 or 20%.
Yes,
and I don't like that. They're trying to make you pay more.
Yeah.
And maybe the service wasn't that great. Yes, you can go to the other option most times and put in the amount that you want.
Put in your own amount. But
so it's a slippery slope. However, it's not just your wait staff though. There's also the cooks and everything else that have to be.
Which is a whole other question. Is how do you portray that to the restaurant itself when you walk in and you say, "Wow, the chef was great. I love the cook. I actually got my steak at what I expected it to be. The wait staff were great," and I give money, and I think, but who does it go to?
Right.
And I guess that may be the next question that I have to ask about a lot of restaurant stuff is if you want to call it transparency now, because that seems to be a thing that we need to be working on. Should there be something or somewhere that says tips shall be given in such and such a way, and here's our policy, here's our practice, and then if I give a tip, I know it's going to go this way, or whatever.
If you really wanted to be brave, you could ask the restaurant owner what happens with the tips. Do you take any of it, or does your company take any of it? You could do that. I don't know if I'd have the guts to do that. However, I mean, it is when it's your money and you're giving it away, so you should know where it's going.
Well, I think so. And it used to be we sort of thought we knew. Now I'm not so sure.
Right.
And so the question does arise: should we be tipping?
I have no problem tipping. I really don't. I just don't like being told how much to tip.
Okay.
That part I don't like.
Yeah.
It's no.
Yeah.
No.
So it's a complex issue.
It
has arisen in our society nowadays.
It won't be solved overnight.
No, it won't. We should just go back to having potlucks. That's the way to eat.
And fall suppers.
And fall suppers and all that. Oh boy, that was the way to eat. Do you remember some of those? I sure do. Boy,
I've gained a few pounds that have come. Yes, and they're coming up again.
Yes, they are. And I am going to attend. And yes, amen.
And I think we should probably tip our cameraman today.
Where are we going to tip him to?
Across the back of his chair. Anyway, do you like tipping? Do you mind tipping? How much do you tip? Please let us know.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, be sure to grab a free copy of our bi-weekly print issue in over 50 locations across Kinnersley. Also included in our magazine is the free Kinnersley Social Extra, where we publish things like community events for nonprofits and obituaries for free. If you would like to be featured in our magazine or have something advertised, please email hello@kinnersleysocial.ca.